Brian Billick here on the Rich Eisen Show. We've got a team in New England that's winning games on defense. I mean, in terms of defense, 0.9 touchdowns given up through 10 weeks. They've given up fewer touchdowns than games played. Then you look at the Ravens and you look at San Francisco, and they both have over 2,000 yards rushing as a team. Are we seeing a shift in how to win football games, especially since it was Week 12 last year that we saw a supposed death of defense between the Rams and Chiefs? Brian, are we seeing a shift here in the NFL?
Yeah, and then had a Super Bowl that was what? That was defensive dominated. I don't know that it's a shift. The value or the perception of the value of great defense or running the ball certainly feels diminished when you talk about the rule changes and the way offenses are up and down the field and the number of great quarterbacks we have. I don't know that it's a shift that even with those, at the end of the day, you're still going to need dynamic quarterback play. It may not have to be Hall of Fame play, but you're talking right now of the three teams you mentioned. Two of them, one's got a Hall of Fame quarterback in Tom Brady. The other is a guy in Lamar Jackson that we all just continually, week after week on Playbook, we're constantly talking. I mean, we could every week talk about Lamar Jackson and just how unique this guy is. Think about this. Lamar Jackson, in his first 15 or 16 games, I think I get this right, has rushed for more yards than Damian Tomlinson, has thrown more touchdown passes than Tom Brady, and has a higher completion percentage than Drew Brees in their first 15 games. That's it's like you can't get that out of your mouth. It's like it's just not going to come out of your mouth to say something which seems just ridiculous to say. But back to the point, I still think we're going to need that quarterback play. When you look at the Ravens, and I think clearly they're the best team right now, they are complete. That's what makes them so scary, all but unique, offense, defense, and that's what's getting lost is how good this defense is getting again because of all the spectacular things that's going on with the offense and what they're doing. But this defense, and they're doing it without a singular dominant player. They don't have the Ray Lewis. They don't have the Terrell Suggs on the back end. They don't have the Ed Reed. They're a very unbelievably talented and solid defense that, A, you can't run on them when they're healthy. And in that secondary, they make it very hard to get big plays. So of that group that you're talking about, and I think that is the right group to talk about, I think Baltimore, but it's in all the people in the AFC it's the same way, whether it's Kansas City, whether it's Houston, whether it's Baltimore, can we go into Foxborough because of, New England and their schedule and whatever, could very well end up with the number one seed.
Yeah, I know that the only team that does appear to have the ability to make sure that Belichick and Brady pack a bag in mid-January to try and get to Miami, Baltimore is the only one that has that chance because they've already beaten them. They're only a game behind. They have that tiebreak. Right. But the question with Lamar Jackson that constantly gets asked, Brian Billick here on the Rich Eisen Show, is the question of sustainability. Long-term, for sure. Long-term, how's he going to look at? Will he be as banged up as, say, Cam Newton is by the time he's 30? And then short-term, we saw what the Chargers were able to do with Lamar Jackson last year when he was just a rookie and he got the reins of an offense that got changed in midstream in the middle of last year. What about this year? What you're seeing through 10 games, the sustainability for them to go to Miami and win it all would be what, Brian?
Well, the sustainability in terms of what they're doing, how it's schematically and tactically put together, the fact that they've had an entire offseason and will now have an entire season to implement it compared to last year where they kind of had to make it up as you go. Absolutely, they can sustain it in their style of play. I think we've seen nothing to indicate that Lamar Jackson's not going to continue on. I mean, their formula is stunning because of their ability to run the ball, and obviously with him being the huge part of it. They average 30 in their wins, 36 or 37 minutes time of possession. So, taking nothing away how great that defense is, it's easy to play pretty good defense when you're not on the field. But when they are in the field, they make it really tough on offenses to not go 3-and-out. I mean, Houston is a good football team. And they just got beat up all but in Baltimore, mostly because, as brilliant as Deshaun Watson was, you get in, you go 3-and-out, you're dead. You don't see the ball again for a quarter and a half. That's a tough combination, so that can be sustained. The question of can Lamar Jackson stay healthy, and we're all waiting for, and not in a morbid way, but going, geez, kind of guy who's carrying the ball better than 220 times on the year as a quarterback, can he do that and not get hurt? And they've got a guy in RG3 who's the backup that I'm sure is sitting there, not like the Grim Reaper, but he's not, kind of just going, I've seen this before. I've seen this before. Be careful, that. But they're all in. They're buying all in, and they don't care. They're going to run him for as many times as they got to run him, and he seems to be able to kind of take care of himself. And you hope it keeps going.
For more of the Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live, or download the Rich Eisen Show app.